another episode of Classic Cowboys Talk. I am Sean Farrell. God is great all the time. All the time, God is great. Jesus Christ died and he rose again. Let's get into it. So basically, I had to step away for a little while. I had some other things going on. Um, and had some other things going on mentally, okay? And had some other things that I was working on. I was trying to bite off more than I could chew, as they say. So just decided to take a short break for a while. I have been following the team. I have been following the team. I have been paying attention to the results, the games. So the headlines, the 40-40 tie, okay? The 44-40 tie, okay? The 37-82 victory over the Jets, okay? We lose to the Panthers 30-27. We think we have it figured out, 44-22 over the Commanders, okay? Then we turn back around and lose to the Broncos 44-24. 44-24, yeah, 44-24. A team that we haven't beaten since 1995. And so, two different things are going on here. George Pickens, C.D. Lamb, and Dak Prescott are getting it done on offense. Javonte Williams has been pretty good for us, so the offense has been getting it done for pretty much the whole year. For up to now, the offense has been getting it done for pretty much the whole year. Okay, but can't say the same for the defense. I saw where somebody posted, it said the Cowboys offense and the Cowboys defense are having two different seasons. The Cowboys being number one in offense, right? And the defense being dead last. Okay? And yards allowed, points allowed. Then there's a Trayvon Diggs situation, which is looking pretty suspicious in some fans' eyes. Okay, some people think he's going to get traded. Other people think, other people say he's not going to get traded. The Cowboys are unhappy with him. And let me just say this, okay? You all have eyes, right? Our eyes work. Fans' eyes work. They see how often Trayvon Diggs got beat his rookie year. Okay. Then he had those 11 interceptions. Okay. He had those 11 interceptions. But I remember they played the New England Patriots the year. He had 11 interceptions. Okay. Okay. He intercepted Mac Jones. Okay. And he had a pick six. Okay. He intercepted Mac Jones and he had a pick six. Can you remember what happened? Do you remember what happened on the very next series? Mac Jones, he got beat for her touchdown. Trayvon Diggs got beat. Trayvon Diggs got beat for a touchdown on the very next series. Okay. Yeah, I believe it was Kendrick Bourne who beat him for a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, he has a pick six. He comes right back on the next series and gets beat for a touchdown. Right now, luckily, C.D. Lamb. Now, luckily, C.D. Lamb was there for us in overtime. Okay, so C.D. Lamb won it for us in overtime. But I saw somebody say, "Man, Trayvon Diggs was always getting beat." It was just um, he had a lot of interceptions that created the perception that he doesn't get hit beat a lot. Okay, so yeah, I think Trayvon Diggs is on his way out. Um, if not traded, he's going to be cut, which is going to save the Cowboys a ton of money. Um, um, Michael Parsons seems to think the Cowboys did hit him did Trayvon Diggs dirty. Um, and I see people saying we're terrible on defense without Micah Parsons. Well, we weren't all that good last year. Okay, we weren't all that good last year with Micah Parsons. And I remember what Jimmy Johnson said when they traded Herschel Walker in 1989. The Cowboys were terrible on offense; they were terrible on defense. And Jimmy Johnson said, "Well, we're a terrible team with Herschel. We're going to be a terrible team without him." So, yeah. Anyway, those were the current headlines of the team. Okay. Um, now, Ken Norton. So, Ken Norton came into the league in 1988. He played for Tom Landry. He played in only one game in 1988 because of a broken thumb. Okay. So he came back in 1989. Okay. And when the Cowboys made the trade for Herschel Walker, they acquired other players too. One of the players they acquired was a linebacker named Jesse Solomon. Okay. And so Jimmy Johnson had this system set up where Ken Norton will play the first and the third quarters. Okay. And Jesse Solomon will play the second and the fourth quarters. Okay. It was a weird system. Okay. But that's what Jimmy Johnson did. Ken Norton will play the first and third quarters. Jesse Solomon the second and the fourth quarters. Now, Ken Norton's big break came in 1990 because Jesse Solomon held out. Okay, Jesse Solomon was a contract holdout, so he missed training camp. Missed the first couple of games of the season. Jesse Solomon did. Okay. Then when Jesse Solomon came back, he was primarily on special teams. Okay. So that really opened the door for Ken Norton. Okay. Um, Jesse Solomon held out in 1990. And that's when Ken Norton came of age. I believe he replaced Eugene Lockhart in the middle. Then Eugene Lockhart moved to a different position to I believe he moved to weak side linebacker or something like that because Ken Norton had moved into the middle spot. Okay. Because I remember I was watching a Cowboys highlight film and the narrator said athletic Ken Norton Jr. blitzed up the middle, an area usually ferociously patrolled by Eugene Lockhart. Okay. So Lockhart was still a starter. Um, so yeah, Ken Norton played injured. One of the real tough guys in the NFL played through a torn biceps. Super Bowl 287. He recovered a fumble and took it back for a touchdown against the Bills. He was also the guy who, during the Super Bowl week, said about the Buffalo Bills because, the experts were picking the Buffalo Bills because they had been to the previous two Super Bowls. And apparently they asked Ken Norton about that. And Ken Norton said, yeah, they've been there before, but I wouldn't exactly call losing twice an advantage. Okay. That's what Ken Norton said. I wouldn't exactly call losing twice an advantage. And of course, in today's world of social media, that would be blown up. Okay. That would be blown up. That comment would go viral today. Okay. Yeah, but Ken Norton, one of the real good guys, one of the best players on the defense during the Jimmy Johnson years. Okay. So Michael Irvin's first Pro Bowl was in 1991. Okay. Okay. Michael Irvin's first Pro Bowl was in 1991, and usually, a few people take the Pro Bowl seriously, but the Pro Bowl is all about having fun while trying to win the game. So there's a mix of fun and seriousness at the Pro Bowl. Michael Irvin took the Pro Bowl very seriously, okay, because he said he wanted to show all the other Pro Bowlers like Jerry Rice. He wanted to show that he belonged. So Michael Irvin played hard that game. Michael Irvin said he played hard that game. He played so hard that he had 8 catches for 125 yards, 1 TD, and was named the Pro Bowl MVP. Right? That's Michael Irvin for you. 8 catches, 125 yards, 1 TD. Okay. And so he was Pro Bowl MVP. Along with Troy AIkman was named to the Pro Bowl that year, along with Emmitt Smith, too. Okay. Let's fast forward to 2017. We played the Atlanta Falcons early in the season. Okay. Zeke, this is the first of Zeke's 6-game suspension. Okay. Tyron Smith was out. Okay. We were playing the Atlanta Falcons. And the guy who replaced Tyron Smith was a guy by the name of Chaz Green. And they had this I'm gonna show some discipline and not say what I want to say, okay? And not call this guy what I want to call him, okay? So I'm just gonna call him by his name, okay? We had Atlanta Falcons had a guy by the name of Adrian Claiborne. Never heard of the guy before. Had 6 sacks. We all remember that, right? The Adrian Claiborne game. 6 sacks. And 4 of those sacks came against Chaz Green. Okay. And they cut to, and I remember the cameras cut to Chaz Green's facial expressions. Okay. They cut to Chaz Green's facial expressions as if to say, I can't stop this guy. I can't stop this guy. And so they eventually replaced him. Okay. So the Cowboys eventually replaced him with a guy by the name of Bell, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. And Adrian Claiborne still got 2 sacks, 2 more sacks, and he had 6 sacks that game. And like I said, I'm gonna show some discipline, okay? Because I really want to call Adrian Claiborne what I want to call him, but I'm not gonna go there, okay? I'm not gonna go there. I will not go there. So basically, yeah, that was a bad game. I remember some friends went to the game. They posted on social media. One of my friends had a mask on because they can't believe what they saw that game. Okay, but yeah, That was a bad game. That was a bad game. Speaking of bad games, okay. Jason Garrett's first NFL start as a quarterback. Okay, so Troy AIkman had hurt his hamstring against the Giants the week prior. Okay, and Jason Garrett was the backup. This is 1993, the second Super Bowl, and so Jason Garrett got the start against the Arizona Cardinals, who we play on Monday night. Ironically. So his first start came against the Arizona Cardinals, and his first start, and in his first couple of series, Jason Garrett was 2 for 6 for 25 yards. That was his first NFL start. Jason Garrett's first NFL start was 2 for 6 for 25 yards. And after a couple of series, Jimmy Johnson was like, you know what? That's it. I've seen him enough. You're out. Bernie Kosar, you're in. Who had just signed with the Cowboys that week, okay? Yeah. So in replacing Jason Garrett, Bernie Kosar went 13 for 21, 199 yards, and 1 touchdown. Solid. 13 for 21, 199 yards, and 1 TD. Okay. So that was Bernie Kosar's first game as a Dallas Cowboy, winning his first game in relief of Jason Garrett. But I think the more meaningful moment that season for Bernie Kosar was at the end of Super Bowl 28. Okay. And the Cowboys were kneeling. Jimmy Johnson sent him in for the kneel down, for the final kneel down. Okay. Because now Bernie Kosar, not only could he say, was he a Super Bowl champion, but he can also say he played in a Super Bowl. That meant more to Bernie Kosar, playing in the Super Bowl, winning a Super Bowl. And so, of course, he and Jimmy Johnson had that Miami connection too, okay? And so, yeah, that was probably the most meaningful moment that season for Bernie Kosar. Winning a Super Bowl and playing in the Super Bowl. And so, let's get to Demarco Murray and his, I believe in his first start, 2011. Okay. Felix Jones was injured at that time. And we were playing the Rams. Okay. We were playing the Rams. Felix Jones was injured. And the Cowboys were backed up deep in their own territory. Okay. And it was 3rd and long. And they handed the ball off to Demarco Murray. And Demarco Murray just took off like a rocket. And I remember I was at a watch party that day. Watching the game. I was at a watch party. And when Demarco Murray ripped off that 91-yard touchdown run, we were like, that's the end of Felix Jones. That's what we were all saying, okay? That's what all of us were saying at the watch party. You were like, Felix Jones just lost his starting job. Boy. I don't think it was the end of Felix Jones right away, okay? It wasn't the end of Felix Jones right away. But DeMarco Murray did rush for 253 yards total that game, okay? He did rush for 253 yards that game. Yeah, but like I said, it wasn't the immediate end of Felix Jones in Dallas, but it was the start because it became pretty obvious that Demarco Murray was going to be the starter going forward, and Felix Jones was going to be the backup for however long, for however much longer he stayed in Dallas. Okay, so yeah, all right, that's it, and that's all for Classic Dallas Cowboys Talk. I am Sean Farrell. I am out of here. Peace out. How about them Cowboys? Despite how bad we are on defense. I'm going, y'all. Peace.
Who?
Cowboys.
What's my blue and gray team?
Cowboys.
And who I'm rolling with, huh?
My Cowboys. Cowboys.
What's my blue and gray team? Right, Giants better get it right. Who I'm rolling with, huh? What's my blue and gray team? Steelers better get it right. Giants better get it right. Who? What's my blue and gray team? Right, Skins better get it right. Who I'm rolling with, huh?
My Cowboys.
Eagles better get it right. Skins better get it right.